she knows what she's talking about. And then one of the things I like about her is that she was able to move from the way we were doing it before, where we were doing emails and listservs and print magazines and so forth, and she was able to take all of that knowledge and move it over to social media once that became king. Right. And I see you were doing that same thing. That's how you were able to connect with so many people, was over social media.
Yeah. And it's crazy because the majority of my supporters, the people that I know, that I'm in business with, that my whole team, all come from social media. Didn't know none of these people.
Yeah, and I've noticed that, and that's been the same way with launching my business as well. A lot of what I've been able to accomplish, and I've had New Orleans, but a lot of what I've been able to accomplish is because of the relationships I've had over the years.
Yes.
Through the listservs back in the day, and now connected with people on social media. And as much as you may hate social media, you gotta do it. Especially
if you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
I tell people that all the time. You have to utilize social media. It's free promotion. You never know who you're gonna run across. And it's like from the people who supported me in the poetry community. That's how I got my following up, and that's why everybody followed. The people who follow me now, they know me from my nonprofit organization, and they're like, well, if you say it's good, it's good.
That's the way you go. That's the way it goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm not sure if the sound situation is fixed with LaShaunda yet, but LaShaunda, you can just jump in there anytime, and then I'll know that. But I can say we can see her better now, though. Definitely. You look good, girl. And normally, see, I don't know, you've seen the show a couple of times. Normally, I'm wearing my wigs and everything, but, you know, I like, whenever I have my my natural hair ladies on, I like to just come out and just bring out the natural hair, because it just helps with the conversation. It does. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick little break, and when we get back, we're going to bring LaShaunda into this conversation, and then hopefully we get right back. What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned into New Orleans Talk Network.
back. We are back. If you could just hear us when we're on commercial, we just have so much fun in here. But okay, I see LaShaunda's laughing at us. Well, while we're still trying to get this sound issue fixed, LaShaunda, what we can do so we can hear you, you can go ahead and call us at 504-341-8255, and then we can just talk that way. So that way we can still hear you all, and to do the rest of the interview. So that's 504-341-8255. So just go ahead and give us a call. So while she's calling us, let's talk a little bit about what you brought here. So we have this Hot Girl Body Cream, which I love the name, and I know, and you know why I love the name. Yes. And then we have the Whip Body Wash. Now, I was really tripping on this Whip Body Wash because it does not look like a body wash. Yeah. I mean, when you open it, it looks just like, I don't know if you can see this, but look at that. First of all, look how thick it is. It is not coming out of here. Let me stop before it decides to slide out. Okay, see, it's not going to slide out.
It's not going anywhere until you take it out.
Yes, this is so beautiful. I mean, I just love something that's really creamy like this. Mm-hmm. And it smells good, too. And then this I'll probably be taking home because I want some growth moisturizer. I want my hair to grow long like you said your daughters did. Mm-hmm. I mean, because my hair is a pretty good length. If I straighten it out, it'll be like down here somewhere.
The shrinkage is real.
Yeah, shrinkage is very real with my hair.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be hot outside.
Because I was saying don't open that one because it was hot outside.
Oh, so it is going to melt?
Because it's all butters and oils.
Okay. So we don't want to open this one.
And I don't know if it's melted because it looks exactly the same. Yeah. Because it re-solidifies, but it was in my hot truck, so.
Oh, I understand. And now we have, this is the conditioner with coconut milk. Mm-hmm. Okay, I love coconut oil for my hair, so I'm sure I will love the coconut milk. Now, there are some people who say that their hair is sensitive to coconut. I don't know if you've met people like that, but I've seen a lot of people on.
I haven't personally met anyone yet who's said anything about it, but some people, because of your hair texture, the porosity of your hair. Some people's hair just doesn't agree with coconut oil, but coconut oil and coconut milk are two totally different things because the coconut milk, it helps by itself. It moisturizes and hydrates your hair and leaves your hair feeling real soft and manageable.
And that's something that I need because I'm part of Team 4C.
Yeah. When you use it, you can it really defines your curls.
Okay. Now, we did get a question. Torrin Anthony Michaels wants to know if men can use your product.
The people in your own city to buy a ticket to your event.
Oh, my goodness. You are so right about that.
Right.
So if you got somebody coming from out of town, you are on the right track, honey. On the right track.
Now, talk to me now it sounds like you have the personality. I somewhat have the personality. Tasha has the personality to really connect with people on social media. But what about those people who they want to get out, they want to connect, but they keep saying, I'm not a social media person. I'm not good at it. I don't know how to connect. I don't know what to put on. What is your advice for somebody like that?
There are a lot of people who just don't get social media. And so I say, what are you going to do if you're not doing social media? Because you have to have a backup plan. Everybody is not on social media. There's a whole bunch of people. Somebody was saying that their family members aren't on social media. Most of mine aren't. My sister just got on Facebook. So, it's not a community for everybody. So if you're not going to be on social media, you need a backup. What are you going to be doing in your community? Where are you going to be going to meet the people that you need to meet? They're not come knocking on your door. If that was the case, everybody would be multimillionaires because everybody just knock on each other's doors.
Yes.
But it doesn't work that way. So if you're not going to do social media, you need a backup plan. You need to know you need a plan for what you're going to be doing offline.
But what is a backup plan for social media? If you're not going to be on social media at all, what is a good backup plan?
Then you need to be doing events in your community. You need to be setting up events if you can't find any events. You need to be talking to organizations. If you know who your audience is, you need to be trying to get in front of them daily. You know, trying to get in front of them, doing speeches, doing workshops, doing, you know, book signings, book events, something to get in front of your readership. Because if not, you won't be selling books.
Amen. Amen to that. Amen to that. Now, along those same lines, there are some people who think that social media is the only way.
I don't agree with that either. Online. I didn't get out into my community. I didn't do a lot of events offline. So I'm basically a nobody here. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody knows about the magazine. I'm a big celebrity online, but offline, I'm just LaShaunda. You know? And so I don't recommend that to people when I talk to my clients. You want to be a celebrity offline and online in your community. You know, you want to be able to, if somebody says, somebody asked me, oh, LaShaunda, we have an event there, who can you link us up with? And I was like, nobody. I didn't know anybody here. Most of the book people that I know of, it's mainly because of being online, not because we do stuff here in St. Louis. You know, and so the last 3 years, I have been trying to rectify that by going out, joining organizations, doing different things, getting myself offline and meeting with people, making contacts that way. And it has really been a blessing because when I go somewhere, I meet somebody else. You know, I talk to somebody else, or they invite me to come and do something with them. You know, and you can't do everything on social media. And as I tell people all the time, social media can close any day. What happens? That's true. What happens? Do you have a plan if something happens? When social media was just starting, it was MySpace.
Yes.
Everybody was on MySpace. You had your little blog on MySpace. You was in groups on MySpace. Mm-hmm. It was hot. And then Facebook popped in. And people kept trying to drag everybody over Facebook because we was Yahoo Group women. That's what we were. We did Yahoo Group.
Yeah, see, that's why I was telling Tasha. That's how we met, was in those Yahoo groups.
Right, Yahoo Group. Yeah, I worked Yahoo Group. Look, I did all kinds of stuff in Yahoo Group. So when they went to MySpace, I was, slowly kicking. I don't want to go to MySpace. I got my people on Yahoo Group.
We just made ourselves sound real old, didn't we? It's so funny. I had an author on the show a few months ago, and I told her that when I first started writing, we didn't have social media. And she was like, what?
Right.
She looked at me like I was an alien.
They laugh so hard because they're like, what? There's no social media. But one of the lessons that I learned as a promoter and then as a writer is that you have to move with the times. Because if not, the times will leave you behind. Yes. And when I did Store Mag, it was a website. That's all it was a website. You came and you clicked links and you read articles on it. And people were like going to blogs. And they were like, well, you need to get a blog. And I was like, I don't know nothing about blogging, but I learned. I said, let me go learn what this is. And then I talked to a professor who told me that in 10 years, magazines would be obsolete. And he said, you're doing what everybody else is trying to do, get on digital. I'm like, what? My dream always was to have a print magazine. That was my dream, to have a print magazine. And here is this professional who works at the mass communications in Columbia telling me that magazines were going to be obsolete in 10 years. I didn't want to hear it, but he was right. He said, everybody's moving to digital. Yes. And he said, eventually, all the magazines that you read will be online where you are already making a market. And I was like, oh, my God. And he was right. Slowly read them online. Yep. And so I've always kept mine free because I know it's so hard as a writer to have the budget to pay for everything. And I wanted to be able to have people to be able to go in there, read, get the help that they needed, be able to get the promotion that they needed. To learn these things, I'm always telling my clients, even if you don't want to, you need to learn a new platform at least once a year, something new to get yourself out there. Because what happens is you start talking to the same people over and over again, and you're not meeting new people. And then you come to me and you crying, LaShaunda, nobody's buying my book, but you talk to 3 people every day.
To meet these people, then to get away from those same 3 people that we know, we need to get into these groups then. Now, but when we get into the groups, I think what happens is people, they stop actually talking in the groups. They stop actually networking in the groups, and all they're doing is just posting advertisements in the group. And then they're calling that networking. I remember when Facebook first got popular.
I call that drive-by promoting.
Yeah. Authors were just dumping their book covers on the other authors' pages, and without even asking. And then they got upset when the author said, "Don't just put your stuff on my page." And they're like, "Well, that's networking. How come you don't? I mean, what's wrong with networking? That's not networking. That's taking advantage of someone."
Networking, especially online networking.
Yes,
because they have turned groups were a great way to meet new people. They've turned groups into a promotion bin where all you do is drop a book in there, and it works for some people, and some people it didn't. For the first 3 weeks of my book came out, I tried that. Nothing. I called it crickets. I got crickets. I was like, okay. And you spending hours dropping these books in these groups. I have one client that was doing 100 groups a day. And I said, well, how many books are you selling? And she's like, nothing. I'm like, you doing this? How long you been doing it? And she's been doing it for months. And I was like, girl, how much you got to get knocked upside the head? It's not working. And so you have to. I love groups. I have my own group. I probably got about 10 groups that I have my own. But you have to know how to work them. If you're going in a group and you're not talking to anybody, all you're doing is coming in there and posting your book, you're not in the group. You're promoting.
Exactly.
And that's the difference. So you need to know, are you having conversations? Are you promoting? And a lot of people, they don't want to take time to promote because I'm so busy, girl. I got so much stuff to do. People always say that to me, and I laugh because I know I got about 20 things on my plate that I'm doing, and I'm still promoting. So yes. I don't have that excuse. Don't give me that excuse. My biggest excuse is laying on the couch watching TV, and I'm still promoting in commercials. Hey, I'm sending something out. And so
give me some tips then on somebody, and you can jump in there too because you've done this before as well. But let's give some tips to people who feel like they don't have time to post and to actually communicate with all these people in these different groups. How do you do that? How do you make your time in these groups worth it without just dumping your advertisements in a group and then leaving?
I use a 15-minute promotion method, and I've been doing that for years because I used to have to drop my kids off at the bus stop, and I had 15 minutes. So I take my 15 minutes and do different things with my 15 minutes. So I use 15 minutes like 3 times a day, in the morning, afternoon, and night. And in the morning, if you know me, first thing I do is I post a question. That's to get my engagement started on my social media. And then I use my notifications a lot because that keeps me off of Facebook playing. And so I can see who's sending me, who answering my questions. Nobody answering my questions, I'll come back later at lunchtime and do stuff. And I do the same thing. But when I go and what I do with groups is I take my groups and I divide them up on days. So maybe on Mondays I go into my business groups, and then on Tuesdays I go into my reading groups. Then Wednesday, I just divide it up like that because I have probably 150-something millions of groups.
Yes.
So I have to, I try to go in there. And I look at you can look on, if you have them saved, you can look and see if anybody had posted anything in there. It'll tell you 10 people posted something, 20 people, 25, stuff like that. And then I go in there. And if somebody is talking about book promotion or asking questions, then I'll go in and answer the question. Somebody asked me something about a query letter. I usually don't talk about writing too much, but they tagged me. And they was like, LaShaunda, can you help her? And so I went in there and gave her some answers for the query letter. And she ended up contacting me later, asking me more questions. But I go and ask questions if today was give a tip today, and so I go and give a tip. I always try to be an active member in the groups that I participate in.
Yes.
You can be a lurker. I teach my people to be social butterflies. And butterflies, people see you if you're a butterfly. If you're a fly on the wall, nobody never sees you. You're just lurking, you're looking around, people, checking people out. But don't nobody know you in the room unless you open up your wings and let people see. Mm-hmm. And so if you in the room and all you doing is looking at stuff, I don't even tell my clients don't like, because that's not engagement. That's just like. So engagement is saying something to somebody, talking, answer questions, share a comment, share some information. Those are 3 things that you can do in a group. And you don't have to go to 50 million groups. You can pick 3 groups and be active in them and get something out there. A lot of people try to be in everything, and you can't be in everything.
Yes.
You overwhelm yourself, and then you get mad, and guess what you do? You stop. Mm-hmm. You stop because you're like, this is too much. When people tell me, social media is too much, I'm like, what are you doing?
What about you, Tasha? What did you do to actually connect with many of the poets that you were able to connect with?
I talk shows that's about poetry. And that's how I started meeting the poets in there, and a ton of them now are friends on Facebook. Some are actual friends in real life that I met through social media, and other ones is just going to events that was being given, doing the open mics, or just going to support the other poets even if I didn't get up on the stage.
That's a big one. I think sometimes we're so busy trying to promote, we're trying to get ourselves out there that we forget that sometimes it's just about supporting somebody else. And if you're supporting somebody else, they're going to remember that. And they're going to say, I remember when Tasha was at my event, I want to make sure I go and support her. Or maybe it's, you know what, Tasha has come to my last 3 events and she's paid to be there. So I think now it's my turn to pay it forward. And I know in the year or so that, the little bit more than a year that I've been in business, I've had authors who've flown from other cities to be a part of my events. And so I do want to pay that forward. I do want to get out. And that's one of the reasons why I do this show. And I do it for free because I want to be able to be that service for somebody else.
Right, and that's how Trinice, the playwright, and I became friends. I kept saying about this play she was putting on some years back, and it happened to be right around the corner from my hot girl house. And I was like, I keep seeing her about these plays. I'm like, I'm gonna go support her plays. So her next 2 plays I supported, and I was so shocked when I seen her show up at one of my events. And I was like, and we had been really cool ever since, and supporting each other, you know, back and forth, because you have to have that support, but you have to give it. It's
interesting that you mentioned Trinice, because she said Tasha has been on that right track for years. She is a grinder.
I am. I really am.
That is awesome. Awesome. So now, LaShaunda, I know you do a magazine, I do a TV show, but I believe it's partly the same way. When you reached out to me, you told me about your magazine and said, would you like to be a part of it? Did you find yourself doing that a lot? Just reaching out to people, telling them who you were, and then maybe it started to kind of flow after that?
The first year, I contacted most people that I had met online, and I used to have a forum called African American. I can't even think of his long thing. Romance writers. It was a forum that I had, and I met all the romance writers. They all came to the forum and used to come and help us and give us advice. And so when I said I was doing the magazine, I contacted them and told them, I was like, I'm doing this magazine. I would love to interview you in the magazine. And they all said yes, you know. And it always surprises me when people say that they have a hard time getting help from writers, because I've been blessed that all the writers, I think I've probably been told no twice in all 18 years. And most of the time it's because one lady, she was pregnant and she was tired. And the other lady, I don't think she knew who I was. but other than that, I have never gotten to know when it came to being in the magazine. You know, I get people that contact me now that, you know, most of the time I go and invite the person to the magazine. I like that. I like to be able to go and ask them would they like to be in the magazine. And most of the time they're totally shocked. I love being able to pick a person to put them on the cover, because how many writers are on covers of magazines?
Right.
And so that has been like giving back. That is my way to give back. And I have been a fan of books all my life, and writers are my rock stars, you know. And so the idea of being able to, last year I was able to introduce one of my high school friends. I didn't even know she was writing, and she contacted me and said she had wrote a children's book. And so it was so cool to be able to present her in the magazine, you know, somebody that I grew up with. And so that's my thing, is to be able to put somebody in there, introduce them to readers, and readers are excited to buy their books. So, and it's been that way for 18 years. Every time I think about I'm done with it, something happens and I'm like, no.
It keeps sucking you back in. It keeps Well, you have a book called Building Online Relationships. So I'm sure that many of the tips that we're talking about now are actually in that book.
Yes. The book, whenever I went to an event, I would do workshops and stuff, and they were like, where's your book? You know, I write romance, so I was like, I don't have a book. I had to put it out there. And so they were like, no, we talking about the promotion book. Where's your promotion book? And, you know, I thought about it. I did it the book, actually, I always tell people that sometimes you already have the book, you just don't realize it.
Right.
My book started off with like 50 questions that I asked on the blog about getting yourself ready for promotion. And so I took it and expanded it into a book. And what I did was, the book is how I built StoreMag, how I went out and learned how to promote StoreMag. And this, when I promoted StoreMag, it was before social media. So there's a section in there about social media, but the rest of it was all about how I did it. And it was using blogs, it was using articles, it was using interviews, it was talking to people in forums and lists and things like that, and going into visit blogs and talking to the people on the blogs and, you know, inviting them back over to the magazine, you know, building relationships. And that's what I teach about, is building relationships. It's great to make a lot of money, but if those people don't come back and buy again, you just made lots of money one time.
Yes.
And my goal is to bring them back. I want my people. I have customers that I have worked with, writers that I've been working with for 18 years. You know, and so that's what I teach, is about building those relationships, learning how to talk to people. Social media has taken a lot of the relationship away because people get behind their little computers, and and turn into little frogs, you know, and but you also have some wonderful people. I tell people all the time, I met my sister on social media. So it's nothing you can tell me about it, because I know the good things come from it too. Yes. And so, but you have to build the relationship. You know, like me and you. You said 14 years. That's a long time to know somebody and helping them with their career. So when you got a book out, girl, Rhonda, when you gonna talk to me and send me your book? Tell me about your book. You know, you don't get a magazine. You know, and that's the thing. You know, I can't get everybody, but I try to get. You know, when your book comes out, hey, if I can't put you in a magazine, I'm gonna put you on the blog. I can't put you in the blog, and I'm gonna spread it on the social media.
Amen. You know? And she'll do it too. She's got a couple of my clients into her magazine. I believe that was the magazine, or was that the blog?
They did the blog.
Okay, yeah, she got them out there. I mean, this is a supportive lady, and I'm actually blessed tonight because I have two very supportive ladies on the show, and because I think Tasha and I just met each other because we just started supporting each other's events, and then we just got to talking.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really enjoying having both of you on the show. But I do want to tell people about your books. We just put your book on the screen, Building Online Relationships. And where can people find your book?
You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can come to my site if you want an autographed copy, LaShaundaHoffman.com. And get an autographed copy. I'll send it out bad today. Get it tomorrow.
Well, all right.
Send it on out tomorrow. So,
that's right.
It's at most of the places that you get it, but Amazon is basically the home place that you can buy from there. I found out about you can order from Walmart if you're a Walmart person. You know,
okay.
So it's that.
Well, see, you know, I remember back in the day when we first started, we were big time if we got our book in Walmart.
Yes. Yes.
And now we also have Tasha's book, and remember it's a poetry book, and I have it right here in person, Smoke and Mirrors, The Truth Behind the Lies. I love that title. In fact, it's a very interesting book because you have the smoke and the mirrors on here. Yeah. So beautiful book cover. And this is a book of poetry. You said this is all
and
your
short
truth.
Stories, yeah.
Okay. Oh, and I see you can there's even room in here to put your reflections.
Yeah, because I wanted the readers to be able to connect with the book.
Yes. Okay, so now can they get the book the same place where they can get the hair products?
No, they can go on Amazon.
Okay.
To order the book. If they want an autographed copy, they can hit me up personally on my artist page, Tasha TNT /Mystique the Poet. Awesome.
And they can find the products at
silkstations.net.
Yeah. All right. And I'm telling y'all, this stuff smells so good that I think it'll light your whole bathroom up when you take a shower with this.
And I'm telling you, it lasts for hours. I mean, I try to encourage people. I don't know why people are scared of the body scrubs, but they polish your body.
I just used the last bit of my body scrub.
See what I'm saying? Don't it make your skin glow?
Yes.
Oh, yes. And it leaves your skin super, super soft.
That is wonderful. So, all right, so y'all can't get these products because I'm taking a lot of these home with me tonight. But if you want your own, go to silkstations.net And you can also go to Amazon to get Smoke and Mirrors, The Truth Behind the Lies. And then you can also go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and you can go to LaShaunda's website. And LaShaunda, what's your website again?
LaShaundaHoffman.com.
LaShaundaHoffman.com, where you will be able to find her book, Building Online Relationships. Remember, it's not just about dumping your book cover into a group. You have to connect with the people in the group, because that's the way we sell.
Yes.
All right, so that is all we have tonight. I want to thank you again for tuning in. I want to thank LaShaunda and Tasha for joining me tonight. This has been a great show, and next week we're going to talk to a couple of book clubs. So make sure you tune in again. We're going to be talking to book clubs, what they look for in a book, what they're doing, how they review the book, and then we're going to go from there. So you guys have a wonderful, blessed week. If you're in New Orleans, I know the Jazz Fest is coming up, so be careful out there. But other than that, y'all have a wonderful week. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.